Hi everybody, this is Cindy over at paper.old.new. Welcome back to my collage board session. I went and found some little odds and ends. I said I wanted to add maybe some geometrics, so I got some. This is a big die cut kit that I bought that it was like a plastic box with all different shaped cuts from like maybe 6 different papers. So they're kind of the same. These are little pinking shear cutoffs of like a postcard or a journaling card that I made, and I just liked the paper, so I figured I would use it maybe here. I got some letter stickers in case I want to put some words on here. And then I don't know if I'll use these little swirls, but I pulled them out just in case. They're black, but there's black print on the printed paper, so I figured they would be okay. And then, of course, I got some lace just so we could have some, some pretty. Oh, and I pulled out my sticker anthology, and I marked a few pages with some flowers that I might use on here. I don't know if the white edges will bother me as much. I don't know if you guys have heard me say that I think these stickers in these books are beautiful, but their white edges are so wide. So I don't know if it'll bother me so much on here since it's going to get cut up anyway. So we'll see. We'll play around with it and we'll see. Okay, so I thought maybe we could add these for a little bit of interest to break things up. So just gonna put some glue on here and we're gonna stick it down. This is gonna be one of those things where I'm gonna try not to think too much about it. And I'm hoping that this particular part of my collage board series, this particular board, ends today. So hopefully we'll be able to get through it. Oh, I also pulled some washi tapes that I thought would be, I know I put an R. It's washi, right? Washi tapes. Washi tape. I put an R in there. I don't know, guys. All right. And then maybe I don't want them to all go in the same direction. That's just boring. Oops. Maybe this way. Maybe over here. No, don't like that. Ooh, maybe over here. Yeah, that's better. Okay, and then I have this fourth one. Maybe I could cross 2 of them. What do you think? Like that? I don't know. What do you guys think? I'm kind of on the fence. I really like geometrics, so I don't know if I want to cross that though. Maybe I should run. Maybe I'll run 2 right next to each other, kind of staggered, like that. I think I kind of like that better. Oh, we already glued that one down, so that one's where it is. All right, let's put this one here. I will say that these collage boards are a great way to use up. I mean, obviously it's like go into your scrap box and just stick paper down, right? Of course it needs to coordinate somewhat. I feel like, as I said in part 1, I have a tendency to make things too busy. If you go back and look at that altered book that I made, I show you a cluster that I put in it, and it just got out of hand busy. So sometimes I'm a little heavy-handed. Too much pattern, too much color. I don't know. So I'm hoping that I don't get too heavy-handed with these, and then when I cut them apart, putting focal points on them is not going to be impossible. We said right there. Perfect. Okay. And I didn't ink them or make them stand out. I kind of want them in the background, so not too much on the ink part. But yeah, okay. And then I got some of these geometrics. I thought it would be kind of fun to stick. These have not quite a pink edge, but the stamp edge with the scallops, I guess, on there. So I was going to put, and I know the rule of threes is the thing, but the pinked edge and the scalloped edges kind of go together, and I did it based on edges rather than shape. So I only have 2 squares. But I thought that putting on too many squares would be a problem rather than a plus. So I didn't. I think I wanted to put that. I think I wanted to put this down first and then put that on top. Oh well. See? The happy, wonderful things that happen when you collage. Okay. So if I do the squares, I shouldn't put them both at the bottom, should I? Maybe I should put one up there in the corner. I don't want to cover up the pansies, guys. I know, that's the other thing about collages. You're going to end up covering stuff up. Just accept it. I guess it's okay since this is going to get cut up as long as the shapes don't end up on the same piece. Then you should be all right, right? I don't know, guys. I think I'm liking it better over here where it was. Okay. Then I have these 3 circles. This kind of ties the pink in, so I kind of wanted to put it over here since there's less of the pink on this side. And then the blue, same with this. This blue kind of ties in the blue around this pansy, but the others are very purple and orangey, so I kind of wanted to put this one, down here. Should I overlap the shapes? What do you think? Yeah, I kind of like that with the overlapped circle and square. I know these are right next to each other, but I also know that that's going to get cut. Those will not be on the same card or ticket or whatever. I mean, card or tag or whatever. And then this one kind of has, it's like a neutral background with sort of a grayish, bluish netting on it. And I thought maybe I would put that one over here off the end of there. Okay. Let's try that and see how we'll glue this guy down first. Should we ink these? Let's ink these. So this is part 2 of this collage masterboard. This is my first like series kind of a thing. I just figured giving myself parts meant that I wasn't trying to get, because it takes me a while to do this. So like I didn't want to make a video that was like, because I can be down here working on stuff for hours and not pay attention to the clock. So I didn't want to end up with videos that were 6 hours long because I lost track of time. So I figured if this way I keep track of my time and I watch the clock and I can get, you know, some stuff done on video. And I'm working on the craft projects anyway, so I might as well do them on video and take you guys along for the ride, right? Anybody who wants to go along for the ride. Then we're going to glue this one down. I can hear footsteps upstairs, and I'm wondering if somebody's going to try and come down in the basement. In which case you guys might get paused for just a minute. Okay, we're going to put that one there. We'll ink this one. I am one of those who is not, I mean, like I keep saying about the white sticker edges, I am one of those who is not into the white. I don't know. I don't know what it is. Like, it's in the journals that I make, it's a lot for me to just leave a blank white page just so it can be journaling space. I mean, that's a big deal. I know it's not really a big deal, but when I'm crafting, it's a big deal. So it's kind of like, I don't know if you heard me talking about it when I was making the Mickey, working on the Mickey Ghost Town journal, which at the time of filming this, I am not done with. I don't know when you're going to see this video, but at the time of filming it, I was not done with the Mickey journal. I have made the comment that as I'm going through, blank space drives me crazy. I like all the collage and the crazy and the busy and the, you know, all that. I'm very asymmetrical. Which is funny because I'm a science math brain more so than an art brain. So to say that I'm asymmetrical and all that is kind of funny to me, because you would think a science math brain would be more symmetry and order. But when it comes to doing, you know, this kind of stuff, I'm more asymmetry and collage-y than I am anything else. Not that collage comes easy to me. That's not what that means either. But when I look at something, I don't necessarily like it to be able to fold down the middle and be perfectly exact on both sides and all that kind of stuff. Or like when I'm setting up something, like say a mantelpiece over a fireplace, I don't necessarily like if you've got something that's 18 inches tall on one side, you got to have something that's 18 inches tall on the other side to balance it out, and the mirror in the center and all that kind of stuff. So that's not necessarily my brain. Okay, so there we have a little bit of stuff added to our... Now I have two different kinds of stickers. I have those botanical stickers. I also have these that I've been trying to use up. I have 3 left. They don't really, I mean, color-wise they go, but I don't think design-wise they go, so we'll leave those out. I don't know what words I want to put on. Let's see about maybe putting some of these flourishes on here. I've had these. I don't remember what I bought them for. It wasn't actually for scrapbooking. I think I was making centerpieces for my sister's wedding. And I bought these just in case they might look kind of cute. What's nice is they're clear, so I can lay that somewhere and say, oh yeah, I like the way that looks there. Like, oh yeah, I like the way that looks there. So we're going to take this off. Wait, I don't know if I can get it off. It's not coming off, guys. Ah, there we go. Oh. It's definitely going to need glue assist with all the handling I'm having to do. Wow. These are hard to get off of here. I will say, though, they're not paper, so they're not tearing as you pull them off. And I think I am going to put some glue on here because I did have to do some serious handling of these. I just don't want the edges to come up. So anyway, as I was saying, my collages tend to get very busy. I actually went back, I had my one son's scrapbook almost complete, and I actually went back and was, my one son is old enough that all my pictures were regular photography versus digital. I know that kind of ages me a bit, but... Uh-oh. No! Alright, I'm gonna have to cut it off. Look what I did. I didn't mean to. I was trying to get the whole thing on there, but didn't quite make it. I think this glue dries clear. I'm kind of hoping it does, because underneath that sticker, there's like these cloudy blue-ish splotches where the glue is. And I'm hoping that it doesn't stay that way. Oh, that's got a bubble. All right, we're going to cut that off just because there's glue in it. I don't want it sticking. Okay, fine. I'll trim the whole side, at least up that far. Okay. That still looks okay. Because all of our collage boards, whenever we cut them up, they end up having edges like that, right? So this one just has an edge. Looks like it got cut off. All right, let's try putting another. I like these, actually. All right, let's try another one. They're a pain, but I like the way they look. Okay, let's try another one. Maybe I should put it on. Maybe I should put one down here in this corner so it's not like, I don't know. Maybe this one is kind of thinner, and I can probably glue something down there. Whoa. Is not wanting to let go of the acetate. Maybe I can glue something down there with it when I figure out, you know, and it won't look weird because it's not real thick. Oh, there we go. So anyway, so my problem tends to be, as I was saying, that I overdo it. So I'm trying, I also overthink things. It's the Alright guys, this doesn't want to go down the way it's supposed to. Oh, is one piece stuck to the other? It is. Two of the swirls stuck together. Okay, now that one goes up there, and this one goes down here. There. Okay. Let me push that down. Hopefully it'll stay. I don't know if glue got on all the spots that it needed to get on. But there we go. Now we need one up here somewhere. Yeah. I tend to overthink. So I know I keep wandering off of my train of thought. So it ends up being where I look at something and I'm like, oh, blank space. Oh, I need to fill that in. Oh, that I can't just leave that plain. So when I was doing the Mickey journal, I did leave some blank white pages, and it was, every time I look at them, I'm like, do I need to do something to that? Maybe I should just put a sticker in the corner. I can't just leave it alone. I don't know. I'm trying to get this turned. My fingers are getting sticky using this glue, and it never really dries to that state, or at least not while I'm crafting, because it takes this glue a while to dry. It doesn't really get dry to that state where you can just peel it off your fingers. Eventually it does, but by the time I'm done and it dries, because I've been messing with it for so long and pushing it and pulling it and sticking stuff down with it and all this kind of stuff, it has a tendency to be so thin that it doesn't really peel off my hands. I just have to try and wash it off. Okay. There, we added a little bit of swirl and glitter. I like that. Okay. We'll hold on to these for another one. Put them back in the sticker box back here behind me. All right. Now, how about we go with washi tape? I'm going to give the washi is one of those things where I love washi tape. It's nice and thin. A lot of it just blends right into your picture. I like washi stickers, you know, but it has a tendency to come up. So like, I don't necessarily like how well or not well it sticks. All right. We'll try a piece. Let's make it a shorter piece this time. Put it the funnest part of this for me is probably going to be after I get it all done and we get to cut it up and see what all the pieces look like that I get to use. Because whenever I watch somebody do one of these collage masterboards, that's my favorite part. I mean, I love watching their process, and I've gotten lots of ideas from watching other people's process. So, that's definitely part of it. But I love it when they flip the board over, cut it into the pieces that they want, and then reveal all the cards. Because you didn't imagine it. Looking at it, you didn't imagine what it was going to be or what the pieces were going to look like. And then it flips over and you're like, wow, that's really cool. That turned out really neat. And I think that's the part of the fun of making these is as you're making them, there's no indication as to what it's going to look like when you're done. I mean, you get an idea of color and stuff. Obviously there's going to be purple and there's going to be pansies and there's going to be, swirls and there's going to be script and there's going to be, you can see what's going to be in it, but you can't necessarily see how it's going to come together on each card. And that's the part I think is really cool. Because, even if you tried to imagine how it's going to cut, until you measure it and actually make the cuts, it's a mystery, which is entirely part of the fun to me. All right, so we'll use that one. This one says life is beautiful. I don't know if I'm actually going to get... Here, we'll do one life is beautiful whole thing. I don't necessarily want to put the whole thing every time, or maybe I want it longer sometimes. That's the only problem with some of these ones that are words is you look at it and you're like, oh, I want there's nothing in this corner, guys. We gotta put some stuff in this corner. I'm really looking forward to being able to do the master book with just making them all different, because I have a ton of scrapbook paper to tear up and use for that. So I'm really looking forward to doing that, because I just want to get, I just have so much scrapbook paper. I just want to get it used up. Because I go and buy paper pads and I'm like, why are you buying those? You have so much scrapbook paper. But a lot of the scrapbook paper I have is very themed toward, because my scrapbooks that I'm working on right now, I'm so far behind. My scrapbooks that I'm working on right now are baby books. So all my paper is brightly colored pastels and baby animals and things like that. It's not like the vintage, it's not necessarily the vintage nifty stuff that we like to work with for journals or anything like that. So here, I can give you an example. Well, I might be able to give you an example. So I have a lot of this kind of stuff. And this is for my daughters. So I have a whole drawer full of this girly scrapbook paper. And not all of it's glittery. I mean, I have this stuff. Not all of it's glittery. But I just have tons of this. And then I have very similar stacks of stuff to use in baby boy journals, because I have boys and girls. So, And it's all very kid. So I can either make collage boards and use it in like golden book journals and stuff. Make them kind of vintage, kind of cute. Or I'm going to have to do some of those methods that people do where they like gesso over it, ink over it, put napkins over it, and rid myself of a lot of patterned scrapbook paper with glitter on it. That's the other thing. I don't even know if gesso will work on glitter. So, like, I don't know if I can paint over that, or I don't know if I can decoupage napkins over top of all of that. Okay, I can't get a hold of this one. So, yeah. But I've got, now, granted, some of that's going to get used up just because I haven't actually made my daughter's baby books yet. I've got both my boys made. Because as I was saying before, I lost my train of thought and went wandering off in some weird direction in the woods. When I was taking pictures of my boys, it was still in the era of camera photography and film. You went and got film developed and all that kind of stuff. So I have boxes of pictures. But now I am trying to do I'm trying to archive pictures and make like a digital library of them. But I had already scrapbooked my oldest son's baby book. A lot of his pictures were in the scrapbook. So I took the scrapbook apart. I said, you know what? My art style has changed. I've come a long way. I'm going to take these apart. I'm going to scan the pictures and I'm going to redo some of these pages that I look at them and I'm like, ugh, what was I thinking? And I know a lot of people say, oh, you should hold on to those. It's a progression. You can see where you've come, what you've done, all this kind of stuff. And I was like, yeah, but I didn't want to do that with these. I mean, I get that idea. I just didn't want to do that with these. So I took them apart and I was scanning in the pictures and I was doing the pages as I went. And I really, really do want to make some masks for the photographs and show you guys the books. I'm probably going to have to take the pages out of the acetate though. I mean, you guys have seen the glare my camera makes when I try to show something that's got acetate, like in a wrapper or something. All right, guys. So far, what do we think? I think people are right. I think the more you work on it, the more, comfortable you get with it, the better it looks to you. So I'm really liking how it's turning out. Let's do a few flower stickers and then maybe we'll call it and cut it up. Let's see what we got flowers wise. I think I found some pansies. So I was thinking maybe I would put these pansies on there. Now again, we have the big white borders, so it's definitely going to be, should I ink them? Maybe I could do what I've been doing and ink it when it's down on the paper. And then it'll blend into the background because there's so much ink in the background. And then hopefully that will make it part of the... I am going to put glue on it. I have been gluing these into a craft paper book because I talked about in one of my videos fussy cutting them. But that would mean I would lose all of this beautiful paper. And one of the people who watched my video, thank you very much. I appreciate you. And I will be better about getting names of people because I feel like I should give them, credit for watching and suggesting that I take the stickers out. If I'm going to cut them out anyway, she said, just take them out and stick them to something else, cut them out, and then you can keep the paper, which I thought was a brilliant idea. Now I just have to, I've done it with several of the pages. So like in the front of this book, they're all empty. Now I just have to figure out, because this is like, I don't know if that's waxed paper under there. Anybody knows what sticker paper is made out of? I think it'll glue, but I'm not sure. Because I really like this, but obviously you can't It's wax paper. So I don't know what I'm going to do with it now, but I love the fact that it's free and I have it. So yeah. All right, let's ink this. I just kind of gently rub the brown over it and it seems to... It'll blend it right into the background, assuming your background is, you know, vintage and inked. Which in this case it is, so this works out well. So there you go. I like that. Okay. I don't know how I'm going to add this lace. I think I should have probably put it down and put stickers or something over it. The lace might actually end up having to be added to the cards after they're cut as, you know, extra. All right, let's see what else we picked out in the way of flowers. This is the page I was on for stealing stuff and putting it onto paper. Maybe I should take one of these. Let's see what else I did. Well, that was the pansies. We can take that marker out. Okay, sorry about that. If there's a little skip there, I got a phone call that I had to take. Okay, let's get a couple more flowers out of here. I got these. There's these pink morning glories, which I thought would go pretty good with the pink in the pansies. I just don't know. The nice thing about these is you get into the back of the book and it'll give you repeats of the previous plants, but in different sizes. So I'm not sure. There's two this size, and this looks like it might be a good size. I think I'm going to do... I actually think I'm going to do this size. And I'm going to do it over here under the blue ones. Like that. Oh, let's put glue on it. Yeah, what I was saying before was these, I'm sticking them down in a book so that I can fussy cut them and glue them down like ephemera rather than stickers. Because and I'm realizing that this glue, the glue on these is more like Post-it note glue. So they're down in the book, and as I'm flipping through the pages, I find the edges of them peeling up and, you know, stuff like that. So if when I am cutting them out, they peel off of their backing, I will just glue them down to whatever it is I'm trying to use them for. Hopefully, it's not an issue of them coming apart after they're glued to something. Now that I've got a lot of them in, I might have to start, you know, instead of just peeling and sticking, I might actually have to start gluing them in the book so that I know that they'll be on their backings to stay. Okay, again, this is a little too white, so we are going to ink. The other problem with the inking thing is sometimes you get like a really high concentration of ink in one spot and it throws everything off. It's like it doesn't blend. It starkly stands out. Again, it's not horrid, and all of it can be overcome with more design and layering. It's just a little bit on the okay. So there's another one. I do like them better inked. I don't necessarily like the fact that there is a big inked splotch there, but in the same token with the flower there to break it up, and once I cut it up, hopefully, and then when I use it as a background, because remember that flower's in the background on whatever it ends up being on. So, yeah. All right, and we got to get one more. I was thinking, now this one that I was looking at is kind of dark, but I was thinking one of these, guys. I know this is off camera. I was thinking one of these. Right up here, or right here. I might do it over here because these ones I keep overlapping this tape and I don't want to overlap this tape again. I know that's awfully close to this, but I think it's far enough away that they won't be on the same card, depending on how this gets cut. So the question is, do I want to use the small one, which I think will fit better, or do I want to use the big one? I think we're going to use the small one. Plus I have an extra of the small one. All right, so let's put some glue in it. I know these big silent spots are just kind of... See, well, if we call this one quits here soon, it'll be shorter than part 1. I don't know if that's a good thing or a bad thing, but it's a thing. Now, the thing with inking it on a purple background like that is it's not necessarily going to make it blend. I mean, it'll match the rest of the page, but it's not going to blend it into the background. It's just going to make it stand out brown instead of white. Which kind of makes you wonder if I should have inked it at all in this particular case. All right, I think that's going to do it. All right. Now, the other thing that I kind of wanted to play with a little bit on here, let me get some of this stuff cleared out. I have a very small workspace here because it's very cluttered. So let me get some of this cleaned up. And I tell you what, I'm gonna pause you for a minute. I'm gonna get some stuff cleaned up and then I'm gonna come back. That way you're not listening to me clean. Okay, so I'll be right back. Okay guys, I've cleaned up a little bit. I've moved my glue mat over here so that I've got my measuring grid on the bottom. I think I'm going to cut this. So this is 8.5 by 11. So what I think I'm going to do is I'm going to cut long ways vertically up. 3.5. So I have a 3.5 strip and a 5 strip. Okay. 1, 2, 3.5. So we're going to cut right here. No peeking. I'm going to use my rotary cutter. Nope, we're not away yet. Is that away? Away. Okay. Now, I've got a 3.5 inch and I've got a 5 inch. Now, let's see how big we want to make cards then this way. This is 11 inches. So however I do this, if I get 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3. This will be 3.5 by 3. So it'll be almost a square. So, but I don't necessarily know that I have a ton of choice unless I do like a 1, 2, 3, 4.5. A 3.5 by 3.5 would definitely be a square. I could do a little tag, like a 2 by 3.5. Now, let's gamble. Which side do we want to cut the 2 by? So if I do a 2, then I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Why am I counting that? I have 9 left. And I could do 2 4.5s, right? So let's do a 2 and 2 4.5s. We're going to gamble and we're going to cut it on this side. No peeking. Oh, that come right away. And then we're going to go 1, 2, 3, 4.5, and we're going to cut this here. Still no peeking. I was going to make a big tag, but I mean, and honestly, 8.5 inches for some of the books that I have, covers wise, some of the book covers I have, like that were from novels. So if I show you an example of, if I show you this as a cover, this is 9 9 1/4. 9 and... Yeah, it's about 9 1/4. So an 8.5 inch tag for a full page pocket wouldn't actually be a bad thing. I just wasn't necessarily... I'm not necessarily ready to make anything that big. I need some small stuff too. So, all right, we're going to put these off to the side, and we're going to see how we want to cut our 5. Now, I'm going to turn this way just because there's less overhang on this. Well, there's no overhang on this bottom edge, and I need it to be straight. Okay, again, I've got 11 inches to work with. So this is 5 inches tall, so maybe 3, 3, 4, 5, and 2 2.5s. What if I did a 1 2 3 and 3/4? 2 3. That would be a 3 3/4. And then I would have a 3 1/2. How about a 3 1/4 and 2 3 1/2s? How about that? Let's try that. See if that works. I mean, if worse comes to worse, I can always try. What did I do with my ruler, guys? 4, no, 1 2 3 1/4. So we're going to cut it here. And we're going to cut another 3 1/4. Or should I cut my 3 1/2 out of the middle? Let's cut the 3 1/2 out of the middle. I messed that math up. Oh, guys. Oh, I'm mad. My math was so off. 3 1/2 and 2 3 1/4 gave me 10 inches, not 11. That's why my math is off. And I just got finished talking about how I have a math brain. Apparently not. All right, we're going to do a 3 1/2 then and see what I have left. Oh, did you see that? My rotary just went. Okay, well, this one's 3 1/2. I'm losing something on this one. Look at that. I'm losing almost a 1/4 inch. All right, well, let's trim that first before we look at anything else. I'm going to trim it off right there. Who knows, maybe it'll solve my math problem. It's probably not, but... Probably going to make it worse. Let's see what we lost. Want to see what we lost? Something kind of neutral. Okay. 1 2 3 4. So that's going to be a 4 by 5. All right, so that's not bad. We got a few sizes. Are you ready? Okay, so for our little card, which I'll probably turn into a tag. That's cute. So that was that bottom corner. You know what we're going to do as we go? We're going to trim these edges. So this edge needs trimmed. I should probably do this before I flip it over. That way, anything that gets cut off, we don't see. So we'll do a trim and flip. So there we go, all trimmed up. That's cute, guys. I like it. It definitely turns out, because you don't have the whole board to look at. So when you look at just that, I wouldn't necessarily have ever put a tag together that looked like that. But now that it's off its board, it's really cute. Let's go ahead and cut corners on it, and we'll make it a little tag. I'm going to cut it right there, and then we'll take this little corner and we'll stick it right. Hold on. It went this way, so it's got to go. Seriously? This is me not being able to hold on to small things. All right, guys, we're almost done. This is going to end up being just as long as the last one. Although I do have a few things to edit out. All right, we're going to take this and we're going to cut it. Get your fingernails out of the way. Right there. And we have a little tag. I cut off most of this red, but that's okay. I like it. Okay, so we got one. And we have these little triangles. Who knows what we'll use those for, if we use them at all. All right, now let's trim this one. We're going to end up hitting an hour on this craft session. I told you guys, I get really, really into the crafting and I lose track of time. I have no idea what's going on. And it could go either way. So that was actually here. So see how you look at it like this and you're like, it's a totally different look than just looking at it like this. And I like it. I'm not disappointed. I thought I was going to be so disappointed, guys, because I haven't done one of these. I thought I was going to be so disappointed. I'm not disappointed. This is fun. This is probably the most fun I've had as far as like making something like this, because I didn't have to think about it. And you know, the collage part, once I got, that's going to end up being a not straight cut because I cut into the cardstock. Once I got the collage part down, the rest of it was left to chance of cutting the cards. Aww. I cut the top of this, so one of these cards is going to have the top of that pansy in it. But this leaves nice space for... Some of them I definitely like better than others. Like, I think I like this one better than this one, but I still like them. Okay, let's trim them up. This is too much fun, guys. I have to go, I'm sorry this cutting takes me so long. I have to go really slow, or I will cut the cardstock every time. I will clip into that cardstock, and then the fact that the cardstock is supposed to serve as my straight line will no longer be a thing. So I have to do this nice and gently and slowly. That one's very busy. Oh, it goes that way. It did end up getting this whole flower ended up on a card. That's kind of funny. This one's kind of busy to put something else on top of. So, you know, it might end up like, I might end up adding something to this, like a doily or something, to break it up and then put something on top of. But I still like it. Okay. Not one of my favorites, but I still like it. I don't hate it so much that I'm like, oh, can't believe that turned out like that. I'm just going to throw it in the trash. Oh, come on. That's really cool too. This one ended up with a whole flower. I'm almost wishing I hadn't put these on there, because I could have done the collage boards, because I like the ones that didn't have flowers at all. Like these two didn't have any flowers on them. And I think I would have been fine with that. I think I went one step too far. When I do it in the future, I will wait on the stickers until I'm ready to add directly to a journaling card. But I don't hate it. It's not my favorite. So it would be something that I would wait next time. And this is the one that should have the top of the pansies on it, I guess. Come on. I can feel you. Okay. And... yeah, see, this doesn't have any of the flowers on it, and I like it much. Well, it has the top of the pansies right there. But I like that a lot better than I like the ones that have the flower stickers. And since I glued them down, I can't peel them off. All right, guys, this was it for this one. I'm looking forward to having these to use. I am loving the fact that I'm getting rid of scraps, but building up stash for use in journals. one of the hardest parts of the journaling for me is having nothing to put in my pockets and having to come up with it on the fly as I go. So this has been a lot of fun. I don't know that I'm going to, I mean, just because we finished doesn't mean I'm going to end the series here. This might just be an ongoing thing that I do every so often. I work on collage boards and we'll see what we come up with. And they're a lot of fun. And I know now that I went a step too far, so no focal point stickers until I cut the board up. Thanks guys for sticking with me. I hope you enjoyed this one, and hopefully we will see you in the next collage board meeting. Talk to you later, guys. Bye.